Hello, boys and girls. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I want to chat to you a little bit about this article I read called "The British Workplace Must Become More Accommodating to Muslim Women." This article really freaking annoyed me for a number of reasons. First and foremost, I've got to say I found out about it from this website that you really got to check out called Islamophobia Watch. It's basically a website run by Muslims who give links to articles on Islamophobia and like how Muslims are being persecuted, and in all fairness to them, quite a few of the articles, maybe 30-20%, are actually incidents of just hate crime and playing out racism, but the other 70% are, in my opinion, really good attempts to call Islam out on its bullshit. So check this website, it's great, and I found this article from there, and it's just, in my opinion, a really good example of why I'm pretty fucking concerned about Islam and Muslims in Europe. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, you don't like Muslims, you're racist, oh, you think they're terrorists. No, I am not worried about terrorism. I am literally more likely to get hit by a car, 1,000 times more likely to be hit by a car than I am to die from a fucking Islamic terrorist attack. So that shit doesn't concern me. Obviously, it is potentially a problem, so it's not something that should be ignored, but this is not why I am fucking scared of Islam. This article is why Islam fucking freaks me out, because like a lot of religions, it wants to impose its beliefs. They think that their beliefs and opinions are worth more than others, except, in my opinion, I think Christians have just basically, no one gives a shit anymore, but for some reason when Muslims express such concerns about their religious beliefs not being tolerated, it becomes a big deal. And I think this article really shows actually what quite a few moderate Muslims think about the kind of people that would be, accepted in the most forward-thinking of dinner parties, and yeah, I'm just going to talk about it and why I kind of think it's a load of bullshit. I'll read some of it. The link to it's below, but I'm going to summarize it for you. It starts off by saying, a recent report published by the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Race and Community revealed that Muslim women are encountering discrimination at work from the application stage, through interviews, at recruitment agencies, and in the workplace itself. Some individuals were even compromising their religious beliefs by removing their hijabs and changing their names to English-sounding names in order to obtain employment. Shock, horror! Although actually changing the names is a bit bullshit, but that is not a Muslim problem, that's just a fucking foreign problem, and I don't even buy that particularly, but if it is real, that kind of sucks. Removing your hijab, I'll talk about that a little bit later. There's another couple of sentences and blah blah blah, but what she starts to say really kind of annoys me. She says, should one really have to choose between religion and a career? Should employers be more accommodating to individuals wishing to practice their religion in the workplace? And this is my problem with this entire article, and religion as a whole, particularly Islam, is why is it that if your belief says, for example, you need to wear a hijab, why does that belief have to be respected? I just don't understand that. I don't think anybody's beliefs need to be respected. For example, I'm a left-winger. Socially, I'm pretty much left-wing. Economically, I'm left-wing. Socially, not so much. Does that mean I have to respect conservatives, even though I disagree with a lot of what they say? Of course not. If I don't like conservatives, there's nothing motherfucking wrong with that. Everyone's got a right to their own opinion, and the more diversity of opinions, I think the richer our culture is and shit like that. So why is it that disrespecting, not agreeing with a religious person's beliefs is bad? And this is what this fucking article is basically talking entirely about, and this is why fucking Islam freaks the fuck out of me, because if some Christian moaned about, and I have no sympathy for Christians, they can fuck off as well, but if they were to moan about their beliefs not being tolerated in the workplace, no one would give a shit, and rightly so. But for some reason, when a Muslim complained about it, it's a big bloody deal. I will go on. There were numerous occasions when prayer times were too close together for me to slip away. I couldn't get time off to pray, or I was in the meeting. The thought of telling clients I need to go to pray was daunting. Fucking damn straight. Now, I've got to say, I have no problem with prayer in the workplace at all. I've got to say, the main reason is because I'm a smoker, and I like my cigarette breaks. So if a Muslim wants to go off for 5 minutes, maybe 3 times a day, 15 minutes in total, and pray, whatever, that's cool. It won't be cool if I'm not allowed to smoke and they're allowed to pray, but I'd like to think in my ideal workplace we'd both be allowed to pray. So I've got no problem, got to say, I've got no problem with religious people wanting to go off and pray. But I was in like a fucking hardcore meeting, or me and say staff of 5 people had 1 hour to complete something, and all 5 of us needed to give 120% to fulfill this task, and a Muslim employee said, "I'm sorry, I've got to stop because I need to go out and pray." I would be like, "Are you fucking joking? We need to finish this fucking work." And that is not religious discrimination or intolerance. In fact, I think if somebody said that, no way, you're fucking fired if you go out and pray. The person who said that would probably be in trouble somehow with the courts. I think that's completely fucked up. And this is what this article basically wants. It's everybody to accommodate people's religious beliefs. No matter if whoever else, if I want to go for a cigarette, fuck off, you can wait. If they want to have a pray, go for it. I just find that unbelievable. And chances are, I'm probably, because I'm addicted physically to this evil tobacco, that I'm going to want to go outside more for a cigarette than they are to a pray. But neither of us should be allowed to go out if we have to do motherfucking work. And moderate Muslims like this want everybody to accommodate their beliefs. And I know it's like sinful, and like I'm obviously a racist because I'm talking about Muslims being arseholes. Again, read this whole article. I've left out just the kind of fluff. I've just really talked about the shit that really pissed me off. But read this entire article. And in all fairness, actually, to Muslims, in the comment section, there were a few Muslims that said this woman was fucking nuts. So, you know, they're not all fucking crazy, but I get the, and she alludes to this herself, I get the presumption that this is something that a lot of Muslims really feel about. It gets worse. However, the biggest obstacles were not practical, but social. There are certain topics of office conversation around sex, alcohol, and relationships that Muslim women find themselves unable to participate in. And as Islam requires modest dressing, I hate that so much, in office, because everyone who doesn't wear a hijab is a whore, basically. In offices where females are expected to dress in a particular way, Muslim women are sometimes frowned upon for their choice of clothing, in particular the hijab. So what you're saying is that because people are talking about their own fucking personal lives, they need to change because their lifestyles don't accommodate that of what is asked for in the Quran, you know? And I'm sorry, but like, I'm not saying the minorities, and this isn't like ethnic or religious minorities, I'm just talking about minorities on the whole. Like, if I'm the only Arsenal fan out of 10 people who are Tottenham fans, that the minority person should be ignored. But chances are, for a better working situation, it's minority opinion probably is the best. I mean, technically speaking, that's democracy, right? So I don't like the idea that as an Arsenal fan, I would get all the Tottenham fans to come and watch an Arsenal game at a pub, and they can watch a Tottenham game where they are. You see what I'm trying to say? All I'm trying to say is I don't think the minority should get their way, so the majority suffer because of it. And that's what I think that this woman wants. I think she thinks the majority should change for the minority. And if anything, that's quite undemocratic, is it not? This is great. An innocent invite for an after-work drink can cause a major quandary for a practicing Muslim. These social gatherings and pubs provide opportunities for networking and are often where managers seek out potential candidates for promotion. In one role, I made my religious beliefs very clear on my CV and during my interview. However, my welcome to the team was an outing for a drink. The nerve! Inviting you for a drink. God, I'm not surprised you're offended and you think that you're being discriminated against. That's disgraceful. I can't even recall the amount of times I turned down an invite to join my colleagues at the pub for a drink. So they're being nice and inviting you out, and you're constantly fucking turning them down. Shows how much you give a shit about the people you fucking work with who are different from you. And you're talking about inclusion. Right. Even after clearly highlighting my religious stance on alcohol, my colleagues saw no issue with the occasional afternoon beers in the office, and no one took notice of how uncomfortable this made me feel. Oh, poor you. So what you really want is everyone else to stop doing what they want just for your feelings. Don't you think that would make them uncomfortable? Or do you not give a shit? Or even worse, don't you think that's just going to make them resent you even more, which is the last thing you want, right? Or are your fucking sacred religious beliefs that goddamn important? And this is why I hate this bullshit, is because this notion that their religion is so fucking important. And like I said, this is not just a Muslim thing, it's a Christian thing too, but people don't give a fuck about the Christians when they say this shit, and rightly so. They want fucking everyone to change for our fucking shit. And I'm not bloody goddamn saying all Muslims are like this. This is absolutely not the case. I know Muslims who are not like this, who even fucking drink and shit. But there are obviously quite a few who fucking think like this. And it gets worse. Keep on saying it, don't I? Another friend of mine refused to declare she was Muslim for fear of being stereotyped. This is what I think is really important, is basically the notion that just by being a Muslim are you gonna become unemployable. I would say that could not give two shits if I was an employer whether you were Muslim or not, as long as I didn't even fucking notice. If you were Muslim and I didn't notice it, then who gives a shit? The fact is, you want people to know that you are religious. You want your religion to be an issue, and you want people to accommodate your fucking beliefs. That is literally in the title of your article. You want people to change the way they do things. So can you really blame employers if they're going to think twice about employing a Muslim? You know, if you really don't want Muslim discrimination, just keep your shit to yourself. I'm a fucking atheist. I am not going to be going around fucking bitching about other people's religion at the office. I'm going to leave my atheist views at fucking home, the way it should be, alright? You know, you are inviting people to not want to employ Muslims by the way you're acting. You want people to change. So obviously they're going to motherfucking think twice about hiring a Muslim, and it's not our fault, it's your fault. Because chances are there are going to be some Muslims out there who aren't like you, and they're not going to be employed because they're going to be scared that they're going to get someone who wants to fucking change the shit things are, and then they can't be arsed with the hassle. So you are costing Muslims jobs, not the employers. She then goes on to say, many employers still see religion as a nuisance and are unwilling to seek compromise. Well, yes, fucking straight. You are obviously making it very clear that religion is a goddamn nuisance. Why is it? How come I never hear about like Sikhs or Buddhists or Jainists or Jews getting discriminated against? I hear of Christians getting discriminated against. How come I never hear about them? Is it because they don't make it a fucking issue and you do? I'm so sick and tired of, and this goes for Christians as well, absolutely, them talking about being discriminated against. No, you are being treated equally, but you want special treatment. So that's what it's all about. You don't want equality, you want special treatment. And when you don't get that special treatment, then do you decide that you are being discriminated against. So again, it all fucking lies on your shoulders. It's understandable why some Muslim women would choose to remain unemployed rather than speak up and ask for facilities such as prayer rooms. This just blows my mind. So basically, it's understandable that someone wouldn't seek employment when they're able to, would just stay on benefits. And I'm not scapegoating benefit people. I've been one myself. So what? Yeah, okay. I don't want to compromise my religious beliefs. I'm just not going to work. Is that supposed to be an admirable trait? That you care more about your, again, religion is bullshit. You care more about your bullshit religion than actually fucking working and contributing to science. That is apparently an understandable opinion. No, it's fucking wrong. This is what I love this. I'm not suggesting that employers must revamp their institution for their Muslim employers, but as the latest census polls tells us that Muslims now make up 4.8% of the population, and with this figure expected to rise every year, we need to start opening the discussion. So you say you're not suggesting employers revamp their policies, but we need to have a discussion about what exactly, to lead to what conclusion. Don't bullshit yourself, you fucking bitch. Sorry, that is very rude of me and quite sexist, possibly. But you don't pretend that you're not trying to get people to fucking change. This is your entire article is about getting to people to fucking change to accommodate your religion, and that just drives me effing insane. Employers need to learn. When I'm talking myself normally, when I then start talking in quite an ironic tone, that's when I change to this woman's article. Employers need to learn more about the religious beliefs of their employers, whether Muslim or non-Muslim. Really? So would you expect my employer to care about my views as an atheist? Because if that's the case, then he should be thinking, Philip might not like me hiring a fucking Muslim woman and not letting him smoke, and letting you go out for fucking prayers. Is that what you're saying? So actually employees should give a shit about what I think about religion? Okay, well that ain't gonna fucking suit you very well. Bullshit, you just want employees to fucking accommodate your faith. No one fucking else's. And be more flexible towards faith-based holidays. I have no problem with faith-based holidays, actually, if I'm being completely honest. If they want to take a day off for Ramadan or like the Jewish Sabbath day or whatever the fuck it is, I'm not too concerned about that, if I'm being completely honest. Although I don't think that they should be fucking paid, but if they want to do that, that's fine. Although I think fasting's a bit dodgy. Like, if you want to fast and you're not going to be as good at your job because you haven't got the energy, then I have a bit of a problem with like that. And that's something that you see in the football world, where players fast and cannot compete at the same level as their fed counterparts would. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't see why you should be getting paid the same amount as somebody if you're not doing your job adequately enough. But like I said, I don't really mind the odd like concession to faves, but that doesn't fucking whatever. And think they need to think more creatively about inclusive social outings. Yeah, by the way, you know when you go to a pub, you don't have to drink alcohol. You know that? Like, the only people, in my opinion, who would not want to go to a pub are recovering alcoholics because they're going to be tempted to drink. What is your problem? A recovering alcoholic would not want to go to a drink because it'd be hard for them to be around other people drinking and not drink. If you never drink and it's in your faith, surely, what the hell is the problem with you sitting around other people drinking? Or are they not good enough for you or something? Or do you think their practices are immoral or something like that? That's kind of the impression I get from this person. Simple initiatives like these can go a long way in creating a more productive and happier workforce. Really, might create a happier Muslim, but I guarantee you it will create a shitload of resentment for the other people, and that is not something you or I want. I want everyone, it's work for fuck's sake. So if this is the public sector, you know, and basically Muslims pay tax money, so shit kind of needs perhaps to be accommodated to them. But in the private sector, I got no motherfucking sympathy for you whatsoever. And if you are seriously asking for people to change for you, you're going to get so much resentment, and it's going to do so bad for social cohesion, you know. And again, this is why I'm making this video, because this is not some bullshit like you know, anti-Islamic fantasy about all Muslims are like evil and all that shit. This is just like a bread and butter, like real issue that is facing moderate Muslims, and why I think that you are doing a disservice to yourself and Muslims who aren't as fundamentalist in your faith. And yeah, I'm using that fucking word, fundamentalist. I have plenty of Muslim friends who are educated and talented, but are holding back on seeking out opportunities in certain sectors for fear of compromising their religious beliefs. That sums it up for me. That is why I fucking hate religion, and religion is bullshit. Is that it's more important than every motherfucking thing else in the world, and somebody would seriously compromise their fucking like income, their family's welfare, all for their fucking stupid 2,000-year-old book. This is why I fucking hate religion, and why I want to talk about this motherfucking thing, because people need to call out this bullshit. And it pains me to think that there are probably some fucking progressives out there in the Labour Party who I'm probably going to vote for that would be like, yes, this woman is right. Yeah, we need to accommodate religious minorities more. Just no, it drives me fucking insane. And I guess the main point of this article that I really want to get across is this shit is gonna fuck up Muslim relationships with other people, and it's just, you are shooting yourself in the foot. If you're a Muslim and you want to work, you come to work and you don't talk about your faith. When I was working my last job, I sat across a guy who went to church every Sunday. We did not have one single fucking conversation about religion, no matter how tempting it was. I never wanted to bring it up because I was like, I'm sorry, the workplace is not a place for religion. Religion is such a divisive issue. I'm not going to fucking talk about it. You want fucking everyone to know your faith, and even more, you want people to accommodate it and give you allowances and grievances, and that's just going to only promote resentment and give people like me who are skeptical of Islam and certain Muslims a fucking valid excuse. So I think you're a bitch, and I'm quite worried. I'd say about 30-40% of Muslims probably feel the same fucking way as this woman, and it's kind of bullshit. So I hope you enjoyed that rant of mine. Please check out the full article. Maybe what I'm saying will make more sense. And peace out, and a happy 2013.